it's a sort of fancy, like, middle-of-the-road version. This would be for a middle manager position, okay? So you want to take the badges off, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, so they had this car, Galpin Autosports, and they built this car to have a disco floor. They had denim seats, they had a wraparound couch, and they had a jewelry making station in this van. So when you buy a McLaren that has been at the bottom of the ocean for $500,000,
yeah,
you don't really have a lot of money for anything else.
Oh, okay. So now we're liquidating the selection of cars.
A little bit, yeah. So we have to thin the herd, I think. So I have a few cars here that I'm trying to sell. Anybody want to buy a car? Anybody? Show of hands.
We got some
buy a car.
Members.
Yeah, there we go.
Sold.
Yeah, sold.
This is a reserve is off.
We're selling it right now.
Guys, Freddy Tavarish, a good friend of mine. I met him 2019 at the SLS Hotel.
Yes.
Like a little fanboy. I was sitting outside his hotel going, "Hi, I'm Sam Hard." He's like, "Nice to meet you." So I saw you on VinWiki.
That is not true. I said, "Oh my God, is that Sam Hard from Hard Up Garage?"
I will take that, so thank you very much. But at that point, I had my NAS Charger, which was my Fast and Furious Dodge Charger and a NASCAR chassis, and I parked it next to your first Murcielago.
Yes, which was a Fast and Furious movie car. And that was from the Fate of the Furious, the 8th Fast and Furious movie.
That was it.
Yeah.
And the DDE boys, Daily Driven Exotics, pulled up, and it was like the most holy grail moment. I was so excited because I built this car in England, shipped it to America, driven it 1,500 miles, and now I'm parking next to other like-minded legends. It was hilarious.
It's just a clout gold mine, isn't it?
It's absolutely ridiculous. So you're back in the UK.
Yes.
So I met him in 19, and I've known him through Ed Bolian and a few things that we've done.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Hey, how do you fancy coming to Petrol Hedonism live?" And you were like, "I'll be there."
Absolutely. I mean, I want to just be with people that love cars. It's very, very simple. Whenever I do a build, it's just me talking to a camera. But when you go to a place like this, you can actually talk to all the people that you talk to through that camera. So it's like magical. You say a word that I don't usually use. You say buzzing, okay? And that is like a word that you guys use over here.
Yep.
I'm buzzing right now, okay? You're watching a man buzz.
I like that. So Tavarish is officially buzzing on a stage for you. But Freddy flew in over a week ago now, and you've done some amazing stuff. His P1 video, he gave me the opportunity to fly out there and do a video with him, and we did a few bits and pieces. But the P1 is buzzing right now, just to get the sand out.
Yeah. There's quite a bit of work needed to get done on that car, but just from what we took out, it's probably like a good 150 kilos of sand coming out of that car, mostly onto my head.
The video of him being underneath the car, and he's like, "I think this could be the last bolt," and it hits him in the head. But we were out there, and he's using this thing called ice blasting. So if you don't know what ice blasting is, basically, is it, what's the main factor behind it? It's like a...
It's dry ice. So dry ice blasting, it's really simple. Dry ice, when you hit it against something, it sublimates and basically expands 1,000 times.
Wow.
And then you have like very high air pressure, so you can clean everything to like a molecular level. So when I need to get all the the nastiness out of that car, it does it very well.
So on my video, I said there was this thing called a parrotfish. If you don't know what a parrotfish is, the parrotfish...
Deep lore right now.
Is responsible for sand, okay? So it eats coral and limestone, and it poops sand. So when we were at his P1, the mouth of the McLaren had sand in it, and the exhaust had sand in it. So I've renamed your car the McLaren Parrotfish 1. And even Frank Stephenson has seen that video.
And what did Frank say?
I think he didn't even give me a smiley face or anything. I think he was angry.
Okay.
He designed that. You told me he designed that car in the shape of a fish, right?
The parrotfish, actually, yeah.
So you've been famous for a number of cars. One of your most famous builds was here in England. We have something called Pimp My Ride, and there was an American Pimp My Ride as well, which was the official one. And it went from West Coast Customs to Galpin Autosports, right?
To gas, yes.
and then you bought the Chrysler Voyager.
I did. So it was actually a Plymouth Grand Voyager Espresso.
Oh, so it's the fancy version.
It's a sort of fancy, like middle of the road version. This would be for a middle manager position. Okay. So you want to take the badges off, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. So they had this car, Galpin Autosports, and they built this car to have a disco floor. They had denim seats. They had a wraparound couch, and they had a jewelry making station in this van. Wow. And I bought the van for like $850. And when it got delivered to me, I'm like, hey, that van looks like I overpaid for it. So
you paid $850 too much?
Yeah, that's a little too much. But then I put in like $10,000 into that van, like restoring it. But we got it running and driving. We actually drove it to Kansas to give to my friend Tyler Hoover. And it was fantastic. We got every mod to work on that car. And it went #1 on trending right after Christmas. And I have never done that well.
You are very close at the moment. I mean, your videos are flying. But you did something which no one has ever done in the world, okay? You released that video on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of guys like me that we're supposed to be sharing the, looking after the kids and cooking the dinner and, actually socializing with our families. But instead I'm watching Pimp My Ride's Chrysler Voyager get dragged into your workshop. It was the best, basically, marketing piece I have ever seen.
Well, a lot of YouTubers, they're on that grind, and the grind never stops, my friend.
So basically, you've done the P1, you've got the most eclectic car collection I have ever seen, from, Nissan 3000, Mitsubishi 3000s to Diablos, Giardi. You do own a Diablo, actually.
Sorta, kinda, yeah.
It's kind of. It's probably better built than a Diablo.
Maybe, yeah.
So, but your car collection, what's next? Do you have anything coming up that you want to try and get hold of? Is there anything on the radar?
So, when you buy a McLaren that has been at the bottom of the ocean for $500,000,
yeah,
you don't really have a lot of money for anything else.
Oh, okay. So now we're liquidating the selection of cars.
A little bit, yeah. So we have to thin the herd, I think. So I have a few cars here that I'm trying to sell. Anybody want to buy a car? Anybody? Show of hands.
We got some
buy a car.
Members.
Yeah, there we go.
Sold.
Yeah, sold.
Reserve is off.
We're selling it right now.
Even though we own £5. So basically, in America, they do this thing where the auctions out there, they have some very over-energetic man on stage shouting numbers at different people, and then halfway through, they take the reserve off. Yeah. In England, they don't really do that. They go, £600 to the man in the blue jacket. and it's really slow and boring. We need to get some of that over here.
Do I hear 700? 700 from the lady in the hat.
Sold. On proviso that he actually has the money, because we didn't check.
Yes.
So Fast and the Furious is a big part of you.
Yeah.
You love what you do, and I'm storing at the moment for you your second real Fast and the Furious Murcielago. So you've had the only 2 in the world, right?
Yes, the only 2 in the world that are left from that movie. So the first one is actually back in my workshop, but the second one is here, actually in the other room, the other petrolheadonism warehouse zone thing. And it looks real bad. Like, it's terrible. If you want to see the worst Lamborghini you've ever seen, you go over there and you check it out, because it has a V6, it has mismatched wheels and tires.
It does.
It was painted with a brick.
It was crashed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was crashed.
Yeah.
But that was before the movie. But then during the movie, it was also crashed. And then the interior was taken apart and then never put back together again.
No.
So that's good.
I have carbon fiber door cards that are probably worth 10 grand in a shed at my house that you own for that car. That car is quite literally the worst Lamborghini, but probably one of the most famous Murcielagos in the world, right?
Yeah, probably. But like, I just want to make it nice. I'm looking at it, I'm like, please, I want to take you home and I want to make you pretty again.
So when you open the bonnet, the hood.
The hood, yeah.
You open the hood, and it has gate hinges from your back garden holding this carbon fiber, probably $25,000 bonnet, right? Hood.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Lamborghini did back in the day. They found whatever could work, and then they put it on their cars. And this is Ferruccio Lamborghini would be proud to see that
He
car.
would be proud. But next to it, so in the same hall in the influencers car section, there is a white Murcielago, which is mine, and I call it the Lamborghini #2 because the first Lamborghini was a direct replica of yours, which came out really well.
Yeah.
And this over there, that Murcielago is actually a stretched and widened Toyota MR2. It sounds amazing, and it looks better than your car.
So a fake Lamborghini looks better than a real one, and I'm not joking. Go check it out because that is absolutely 100% true.
And it's probably the only time in the world which you can actually go up and touch a real movie car from Fast and Furious. These cars here are fantastic, and they are beautiful recreations that people have made from the movies. But that car is an actual, real Fast and Furious movie car.
And you can tell because it's not nice.
From a distance. Oh, even from a distance, it's not nice.
No, from where we're sitting right now, like from right here,
It looks fantastic.
it looks great because you can't see it.
So we've been asking everyone that's come on this stage today, bucket list. Okay, so the P1 was up there. We understand that is up there, and you've achieved your dream. What's next? Is there anything that you've missed out of your life that you want to get back? Is there a bucket list car that you still aspire to get?
So one of the reasons why I got the P1 is because there was a car back in 2010 that very famously went into the Galveston Bay, and that was the Bugatti Veyron.
Mr. Andy House.
Yeah,
Slided into my DMs.
Yeah, it was owned by a guy named Andy House, and then he drove this car for an insurance scam that he went to jail for afterwards.
He did go to jail.
Yeah.
But he didn't know that when you're driving a $2 million hypercar, into a lake, I don't think he was assuming anyone was going to video it.
Yeah, so the idea was that he told the insurance that there was a seagull that went across his windscreen, and the video that somebody was taking of the crash showed no seagull, so the insurance was like, hey, you're doing something illegal, and then the cops got involved. He went to jail, but that car just floated around for quite a bit. And
Not in the lake.
No, not literally, but like floated around like parts-wise. And so Ed Bullion and I wanted to buy that car, and it was like $300,000 or something, and that was more money than both Ed and I had, but we could like sort of make it work, but it wasn't worth it at the time. This was like 2 years ago. And then I found out last year that I could have bought the car, and like I negotiated for that car, and then the guy just upped the price again, and then I was like, oh, it's not worth it. And now that car is worth it, and I'm like, that's the one that got away. And I know, like, the guy that has it, he like rebuilt some stuff, he repainted it, but it's like in my head, that car should be mine, and it's not, and that really screws with me.
But that is an amazing bucket list car, and we understand that. But the P1, quite literally, is the most infamous, famous McLaren car in the world. When that was floating out of that man's garage or garage, and it went down the river, was there a part of you that just went, I need that. I don't want it, I need that.
So immediately what happened was when that video came out, I mean, I live in Florida, so I was also bracing for that same hurricane.
Yeah.
I got a notification. It must have been 1,000 notifications that same day. You got to check this out. This car is it's a $2 million car, and it's getting engulfed in all these floodwaters. And a part of me was like, it's going to go for some crazy money. I'm never going to afford it. How am I even going to fix it? And what happened after like a few months was that it sold. Well, it didn't sell, but it went up for auction twice. And it went up for auction for like $400,000. And then the last time, they had to buy it now. And then I was stupid enough to go to a bank and say, hey, bank, would you like to loan me a lot of money so I can buy this car that has no title, it can't drive, it doesn't run, and it's been underwater? And they were like, yes, we would. And now I have a P1.
So what you're saying is you've made a financial mistake, but with a smile.
I made a very good decision, and everybody in the audience should make the same decision if you can do it.
The only people that fail in life are the people that give up. So go out there and buy stuff that is very silly, not required, and too expensive, and you'll basically be a happy man.
Is that like a Gary Vaynerchuk speech?
I don't know. It might be.
Buy P1s every day.
And you'll be happy.
Make TikTok. Yeah.
But, you know, what an amazing car, what an amazing guy. And if there's a guy out there that could do this, right, and actually succeed and build the car, it's this man. I've seen McLarens explode while I'm driving them with you,
Yes.
which I think it might be an idea that I don't ride the next. Maybe I should drive the P1 because maybe it was the
You
fact that I was in the
should.
passenger seat.
Yeah, it's the passenger. You hit the button. You hit the engine explode button on my 675.
The ejecto piston cuz.
You did. There's a button there, and I forgot to tell you about it. It's my fault. I'm sorry.
I blame you. So all this heartfelt worry I've had for 3 months is actually your fault, which I'll take that.
For those of you in the audience that don't know what we're talking about, this may be a little bit inside baseball, but I have a 2016 McLaren 675 LT that I took about 2.5 years of my life to rebuild. I bought it when it looked like a crumpled piece of paper. It was smashed everywhere, and then I rebuilt it, and then we debuted it at SEMA, which Sam saw at SEMA, and he was like, hey, that car looks really cool. And when he came to my shop, and I said, hey, Sam, would you like a ride? He said, yes, I would. And we took a ride, and the engine exploded. So that's...
it was basically, so we spent about an hour and a half bolting up the under trays because there was a piece of ducting that goes to the air conditioning pump itself to the out, so direct air to cool it. So we put this piece of ducting in, which is completely a silly idea now, but we spent an hour and a half doing that, and we put all the engine tray on perfectly. And if it was me, it'd be like, we'll put the engine tray on later, let's go and do some donuts. Yeah. We put it all on perfectly. We did everything by the book. And the week before, Shmee'd been out in it. The week before, Matt Armstrong had been out in it.
Yeah.
I jump in the passenger seat, and my camera is on me because I'm filming a video. And I'm like, oh my God. And then he goes, digga, 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 digga. And I'm like, I think the under tray that we just fitted fell off.
Yes.
And he goes, yeah, I think something fell off. And he looks down at his the instrument cluster and, oh.
No, it's worse than that.
The engine just blew. And then I cover my swear word with a goose noise, like flawlessly. Yes. And I get out, and the car has just had an engine wee across the floor. Like,
full carnage, just all over the road. There's oil everywhere. It was fun. Well, the fun part is that all my friends were there to see. You know,
we all flew in. Mr. Ratarossa, Chiro, Scoot. Everyone was there to see. Us destroy it.
See the carnage, yeah. But it was fun. Honestly, when you modify cars, I mean, any of these cars, right? If you modify cars beyond their limits, stuff's gonna break. So I wasn't, super concerned about it. It's gonna be a lot of money. It's gonna be, a big parts bill, but that's okay. I mean, you gotta pay to play sometimes.
In what you're trying to tell me is that us guys, when we build cars, we run out of content. So let's say we built this Dodge Charger and you drive it and you arrive at SEMA, that car is dead on social media terms. So what we did actually is I brought that car back to life.
Thank you so much. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't blown my engine, Sam. Thank you.
I'm so sorry, but I'm still smiling. But Tavarish, one of my good friends, we've done loads of stuff together. We've got some stuff in the pipeline next week we're going to have some fun with. Please follow him on socials. It's at Tavarish, right?
So it's Instagram at The Real Tavarish.
Yep.
And I believe it's on Twitter as well and YouTube at Tavarish. You could just look for McLaren P1. I'll be there.
So his name's really called Freddy Hernandez. What does Tavarish mean for all these lovely people at home?
So Tavarish, I'm originally from Russia, from the Soviet Union, as it were. And Tavarish in Russian means like comrade, friend, dude, that sort of thing. And I came up with it when I was 12, and I couldn't come up with anything more clever since then. So that's why it stuck.
I like it. We've been talking to Shmee today about Shmee 150 was basically when he applied for an email address, it was Shmee is taken. So you got Shmee 9940, all these different numbers. And then Adam C was, his number was from Bebo back in the day, a little bit like, one of these websites, that's where his name come up. Mine's Hard Up Garage. My second name's Hard, and I'm always broke. So the joke was I'm always hard up, but Richard used to call it something else which wasn't as friendly, but that's fine. But thank you for being here. Guys, please give Freddy a round of applause.
Thank you so much, guys.
He'll be walking around the show. Come and say hi to him, get your photos taken, and thanks. I hope you're having a good time. Quick reminder, hit that subscribe button, the like button, and then the bell button, so you get alerts when we release new episodes, and follow us on social media too for extra stuff and more alerts about videos we're releasing, which at the moment is every Sunday and the odd Wednesday too. Bye for now.